Joey Logano through 3 and 4 for the final time. There's the contact. He does get to him. The 11 on the inside. He gets into the wall. Dillon's going to win it at the line.
Oh my goodness. NASCAR is back after 2 weeks. Well, 2 to 3 weeks. We got a lot to discuss here. So what's going on, guys? This is Preston here, and this is the Cookout 400 Richmond race review. And oh my goodness. If you think there's a bunch of storylines, oh, there are storylines, all right. Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and get started. On the pole for this race was Denny Hamlin, my guy, and he had a good race. He really did. Points day, top 5 in the stages in the race. Good points, good day to be a Denny Hamlin fan. Unfortunately, didn't get the win, but he already won Richmond, so nothing to lose really. But we're gonna get to the finish towards the end of this video. But wow, but all the way up until with 2 to go, the racing was clean. No cautions for incidents, nothing like that. And with the way how this race was, I never thought we would see this finish. So yeah, so stage 1 was pretty straightforward. You know, drivers trying to fight up for position. Tires weren't really a thing until stage 2 with the option tires, which is their softer tires, like in the All-Star race, where the softer tires, they have more grip, you can drive a lot faster. And boy, did that happen, because that, with the two kind of tires, that kept me really tuned in, like really wanting to know what's gonna happen. There was at one point where Daniel Suarez was charging up through the field late in the race. Oh my goodness, guys. So wow. So stage 1 was won by, I think, so the stage winners, stage 1 was Christopher Bell, and stage 2 was won by Daniel Suarez. But tires were a very fun thing to watch, especially with the tire compounds, like I said. Just really overall, this Richmond race was fun to watch and fun to keep track of, because you have drivers with different strategies, with drivers with on those softer tires trying to charge their way back up and get the free pass. There was also drivers trying to save the softer tires to the end of the race, which a lot of the drivers did. We especially saw in stage 3, where at the start of stage 3, a lot of drivers took the soft tires. And boy, the restart in stage 3 was really fun to watch. And then other than that, the fastest cars were, in my opinion, Denny Hamlin, and later in this race was Austin Dillon. Christopher Bell was one again, but he ended up having a speeding penalty, which ended up costing him the race. So it was a battle in the final laps between Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Austin Dillon. And Austin Dillon, man, this guy, Richard Childress Racing, Austin Dillon, he was fast in this race. He was fast all weekend, really fast. And my pick to win this race was indeed Joey Logano, which we're gonna get to that. That is gonna be the most interesting part. I cannot wait to discuss that. I am gonna have a fun time discussing that. Oh my goodness, guys. So, wow. Austin Dillon in stage 3, legit had a rocket ship of a car. He was able to drive in the corner entry, especially in turn 3 and 4, really well. He was able to drive in, especially rotate in the center of the corner, really, really well. And he was able to get by Denny Hamlin after that final pit stop, and then with less than 5 laps to go, well, with 3 laps to go, I think, 3-2 to go, Ryan Preece and Ricky Stenhouse made contact and ended up being our first caution of the day. Caution for incident, the only caution, well, technically the first caution for incident before heading into overtime, which, oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and discuss it. So, Austin Dillon and Joey Logano were on the front row, and Joey Logano had a very good restart. Austin Dillon did not have that much of a good restart, and Logano took the lead. He took the white flag, and yet again, one of my picks to win was so close, and they ended up just blowing it. Well, Austin Dillon blew it for him. You get it? Because he wrecked him? So, yeah, so what happened was, Austin Dillon, he was 4 or 5 car lengths back, and then this is something would see in online racing. with something you would see in NASCAR E5. He literally came in kind of almost full speed, got into the 22, spun him around, and ended up collecting Denny Hamlin with it. But Denny did finish second, so from officially finished second, yep, Denny did officially finish second, so I'm not, too bothered by the result, but Joey Logano, he was furious, and I don't blame him. I do not blame Joey Logano one bit. Yes, I know. Listen, as much as I do not like Joey Logano, as you guys know, I do not like Joey Logano. He and Chase Elliott are the drivers that I root against, but I agree with what Logano said. Like, there was no way he would be able. Bump and runs are one thing, but if you completely just flew it in there and just took out like someone like that, that is obvious that he was intentional. That was intentional, big time. But at the same time, I look at this from both sides. Austin Dillon, he was in a desperate situation where if that caution wouldn't have come out, he would have won that race. So I understand the oh my gosh, I want to win this so bad. I understand the desperate, but at the same time, there's lines. Like, there's like a line like that. It's just an imaginary line, it's like an imaginary line to cross, and I don't know. It's not a good look for Austin Dillon, but he did what he needed to do to lock his way into the playoffs, but that was not a good move. Oh my goodness. Like, oh my gosh. Like, if I was about to say that this was one of the most, if that caution didn't have come out, Austin Dillon would have certainly won this race, and this would have been Austin Dillon's most impressive wins that I've seen from him, the most impressive. But boy, did that age quickly. Joey had the full right to be upset. Like, the full right to be upset. I don't care if he's done this. I don't care if he wrecked drivers before. Like, I don't care if you get wrecked for a win, you should have the 100% right to be upset. Yes, even though they've done something similar like that, but Joey Logano, I have never seen anyone try to do that from like that far back. I have never, so we'll see if NASCAR decide to throw a penalty, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. So just wow. Tires were a thing. Tires were definitely a thing in this race. It was really interesting to see what teams try to take what different strategies. And Christopher Bell's crew chief Adam Stevens, he wasn't even at the race because he had a diving accident and injured his knees, and he had surgery on him, so that's why he wasn't there. He'll be off the track for a few weeks. But points wise, Martin Truex Jr., I gotta talk about Truex. He had a top 5 car up until his car blew. His car blew up. Oh my goodness. Martin Truex Jr. fans, I feel ya. This has to be. If Truex misses the playoffs this year, that would suck big time. But Bubba Wallace, despite Austin Dillon from, get this, 32nd in points. 32nd in points. Bubba Wallace was still able to be above the cut line, +3. Had a Chris Buescher and Ross Chastain, which Ross Chastain was able to get inside the top 10. Trackhouse Racing, I mean, they had a good day. Like, both top 10 for both of the Trackhouse cars. How did Kyle Busch come back to score 12th? That was, top 15. Richard Childress Racing, like I said, Austin Dillon's cars, like, he was fast. Like, he was legit fast all weekend. So, yeah. Joey Logano, he ended up finishing 19th after that. But Ty Gibbs, another driver that's close to the cut line, finished 22nd outside the top 20. Yep. And Martin Truex Jr., he finished dead last without engine problems. Stenhouse without accident before overtime. And this wasn't the first time Austin Dillon had to wreck someone for a win. Remember what happened with Eric Almirola in the 2018 Daytona 500? Yeah, so. Oh my goodness. Like, and his brother Ty Dillon was in this race too in the 16. But in the end, man, it's just I have never seen someone like from 5 car lengths back, 4 or 5 car lengths back, do something like this in real life. I have never seen anyone do that. Like, that was insane. Joey had the complete right to be upset. And Denny Hamlin still ended up finishing second out of the day, even though uh, he and Austin Dillon got tangled up in that incident, which it was looking like Denny Hamlin was able to squeak by and steal the win. But Austin Dillon, he and Denny Hamlin made contact, and Denny went up to the wall, but still finished second. So I'm happily going to take that as a Denny Hamlin fan, man. Despite us winning earlier in the Richmond race this year, I'm happily going to take a second place finish. But oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And yes, the crowd did boo when Joey Logano said that was a chicken crap move, which I get it. Who freaking tries to do that from 5 car lengths back and just boom? I don't blame him for being ticked off not one bit. I would be ticked off too if that was the case. So it's just, I don't care. Like, I do not care if, yes, I know Joey Logano has done something, but I have never seen, again, I have never seen someone do that as malicious as that. That was malicious. I've never seen someone do that malicious, try to get a win. So, yeah, like I said, I've never seen someone have to literally from 4 to 5 car lengths back. Like I said, I'm being repetitive here for a minute. Just, to me, that just blows my mind. Holy cow. Tires, strategy, calm, great racing, and then chaos ensues. So Austin Dillon gets the win. He's now in the playoffs. If this was before, like in 2021, would say, he wouldn't even been in the playoffs because he's below 30th in points. That was how below Austin Dillon was in points. And anyone wants to know my final opinion on this situation? Look, I look at this from both sides because Austin Dillon, in my opinion, if that caution would have come out, he would have won this race. But at the same time, I get bump and runs. Bump and runs are completely justified. Bump and runs, completely justified and fine. But doing it from 4 to 5 car lengths back, that's something you would see in online racing in NASCAR Heat 5 or something similar to that. But oh my goodness. And yeah, Austin Dillon, Joey Logano did have the right to be really upset. He completely did because, man, just. But from just, I think it's the desperate situation that he was in trying to make it to the playoffs. I think that's why he had to do it. He said in his interview he didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. So it has to be this playoff format, man. With the situation involving winning you're in to get into the playoffs, try to compete for a championship. But, man, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tires, like I said many a times, were fun to keep track of drivers using the option tire or the prime tire, and we got to see the option tires go work by. They actually worked by. They can wear down to like 40 laps. So yeah. Austin Dillon wins, and wow, what a race. I give this race an overall 7.5 to 8 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 is my final score, final rating. So Austin Dillon wins. He's now in the playoffs. What do you guys think? Let me guys know what your take is on this whole crazy scuffle. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, anyways, this is Preston signing off. Wow. Bubba got a top 5. Reddick got a top 5. All my favorite drivers finished in the top 5. Go 2311 Racing. Go Denny Hamlin. And Austin Dillon wins. Peace out.